What's up? Keyshawn, I see you calling out Pitbull and everybody. You know I got to get up on here, Keyshawn. Why don't you call out Kid? You shook Oscar's hand. You said, let's make this happen. That was last year. After we had this WBA fight, we will come up and we'll fight you. Or either your big brother. I want y'all to show and prove. Y'all say y'all like that. Make it happen. Get past that fight, whatever fight you calling for. Kid, get past this one. And let's run that. Since you so brave and act like you ready for business. Let's do it.
Floyd Schofield Sr. said right after Floyd Schofield Jr.'s next fight, which is going to be for the WBA Lightweight World Championship. If you haven't heard the breaking news yet, we are about to get into it. I will come back to this topic with Floyd Schofield Sr. and Jr. talking about wanting to move up weights. But first, the WBA has dropped, or Dan Rafael, shout out to Dan Rafael, has dropped some news coming from the WBA. It has been said, we talked about it in my last video that I just dropped, going off on Rolly Romero on why it all makes sense now. The reasons he was calling out Devin Haney and going off on Ryan Garcia. Because, as you see right here, they're getting ready to schedule the purse bid between Shakur Gayazov, who's mandated to fight against Rolly Romero. That's a lose-lose situation for Rolly Romero, but we're not going to get into that. That was for my last video. Go check it out. Two of the fights that are getting mandated here, that are getting ready to be ordered, in my opinion, are great fights. I want to start off with Armando Resendiz, the WBA super middleweight champion of the world, after being elevated following Terrence Bud Crawford retiring from the sport after beating Canelo Alvarez, taking all the straps, undisputed status away from Canelo Alvarez. The WBA and all the titles are scrambling around trying to figure out what they want to do next. They elevate the WBA interim super middleweight champion, which was Armando Resendiz, after beating Caleb Plant in what was, in my opinion, 2025 underdog of the year. Underdog win of the year. Had to go to Armando Resendiz beating Caleb Plant. Since then, Armando Resendiz gets elevated to full champion. It was said he was in talks to fighting Jaime Mongoya. Jaime Mongoya, a fighter who was mandated to fight Oslis Iglesias after Canelo Alvarez turned down the fight. The IBF decided to go the Jaime Mongoya route. Jaime Mongoya turns it down as well. I was like, what? Okay, let's see what's going to happen with him. We hear the breaking news that he's in talks and negotiations with Armando Resendiz. And then, a week later, we see that everything is fell apart. Jaime Mongoya is not in negotiations no more. And I said, what is going down with Jaime? Now, that's for a different video. But since then, Armando Resendiz, I thought was already ordered, was mandated to fight against Bektemir Mulakaziev. They announced it. It's getting announced that that fight is being ready to be ordered. Bektemir Mulakaziev with a record of 17 wins and 1 loss. Coming off the Ryan Garcia Mario Barrios undercard where he beat Sina Agbako, a fighter who's been knocked out 1 time and lost 1 time to Gabriel Rosada back in 2021, but ended up redeeming that loss, beating him, and is on a 10-fight win streak. Armando Resendiz, a guy who got knocked out by Elijah Garcia, a couple fights ago, 3 fights ago, won a fight, then had that fight against Caleb Plant, was a huge underdog, a plus 800 going in there, and gets it done. And now is the champion of the world. The WBA is getting ready to order that fight. And I can't wait for it, man. I cannot wait for it. Bektemir Mulakaziev is an absolutely exciting fighter. Every single time he steps in that ring, you want to watch him fight. And then you got Armando Resendiz to go against him? Oh, I mean, come on, dude. This is going to be a fan favorite fight that I can't wait for. Then we see the other breaking news. The WBA is officially mandating and ordering a fight between Floyd Schofield Jr. and Lucas Body. Floyd Schofield Jr., the #1 ranked fighter in the WBA lightweight rankings. Lucas Body, the #2 ranked fighter in the WBA rankings. It was possible Lamont Roach Jr. was in the talks, who was ranked #4. But we see now Lucas Body is officially getting the fight. Now, I know Floyd Schofield Jr. and Floyd Schofield Sr. are absolutely happy about this. They were pushing that fight since Gervonta Tank Davis was placed in champion in recess. Both father and son went in a bunch of interviews and were like, we want Lucas Body. Even brought Lucas Body on during a little interview with them just to talk about it and push Lamont Roach Jr. to the side. Well, they got what they wanted. But I got a problem with the video that I showed you in the beginning of the video of Floyd Schofield Sr. saying that they want to move up after their next fight, which is going to be for the WBA lightweight strap against Lucas Body. They want to move up to 140 pounds and fight Keyshawn Davis and possibly fight Shakur Stevenson. Those are the names that they are calling out right now. When, in my opinion, Floyd Schofield Jr. still has a lot to prove in the lightweight division. And as a man himself, this is a guy who was scheduled to fight against Shakur Stevenson and pulled out. Scheduled to fight against Jojo Diaz and pulled out. And created a bunch of conspiracy theories on some of the reasons why they pulled out of the Shakur Stevenson fight. Injury against Jojo Diaz. Just coming off a knockout off Tevin Farmer in round 1, and all of a sudden is the top dog. He's 23 years old. And instead of calling out guys like Abdullah Mason, who's the WBO lightweight champion of the world, you're calling out guys like Keyshawn and Shakur Stevenson, who aren't even in your weight class. You say you want to move up after this fight. I got a problem with that, because why are you doing that? Is it because Floyd Schofield Jr. just can't make the weight anymore? If that's true, then okay. I understand. If Floyd Schofield Jr. is having a tough time trying to make these weight cuts, is getting sick, you see the size of his arms, he looks absolutely massive. Got the arms the size of a goddamn super middleweight. Is Floyd Schofield Jr. having a tough time making this weight? That's the reason why they want to move up and fight against guys like Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Why wouldn't you want to unify any of the titles? Unify against Abdullah Mason. To me, this is kind of like duck talk, because I don't see Floyd Schofield Jr. being next in line in a fight for Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. I don't. I see they're calling them out, but these dudes got way more options and way more opportunities on the line rather than fighting somebody like Floyd Schofield Jr. Not yet, bro. You need to stay in the 135-pound lightweight division and try to unify with Raymond Morataya. Abdullah Mason, you guys have all that beef. Why wouldn't you want to build this fight up? It could be one of the most exciting fights in the lightweight division, if not the most exciting fight in the lightweight division. If you win, you become a unified world champion. And then guess what? Gervonta Tank Davis at 135 pounds would be absolutely ridiculous. If you believe in yourself, maybe there's a reason why this guy's not calling out guys like Abdullah Mason and Raymond Morataya. Maybe there's a reason. But it's some absolutely breaking news, man. Floyd Schofield Jr. and Lucas Body is going to be a fantastic fight. Floyd Schofield Jr. better prepare, man, because Lucas Body ain't no slouch. And I know Lucas Body had to earn his way the tough way. Had to build himself up, win. That knockout over H2O. Oh! I know Lucas Body is coming in here to shock the world, Floyd, so you better be paying attention to Lucas and not paying attention to Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson. Pay attention to the 135-pound division. If you feel like you can't make the weight no more, it's too much of a tough cut, come out and say it. Make it noticeable that you guys are done from this lightweight division. If you can't get Keyshawn or you can't get Shakur, are you still moving up to 140? What's really going on here, man? This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel reporting to you. Let me know what you guys think.